Okay, now we're going to go to the Sawmill chapter. And because Arthur Warren is the only person that you could research that really was known to be an owner of sawmills, I've concentrated on Arthur and his family. So this is Arthur right here. When he was a younger man, he's got a bull rake he's holding up. And these are the hay wagons. Now when I was a kid, I used to be the guy on top of the wagon stacking the hay. My grandfather had 2 tractors, Ford tractors. So somebody would drive a tractor, and as a kid I would be up on top. So there was a brother of Arthur Warren. His name was Joseph E. Warren. And anybody hear of Joseph Warren House or Joseph Warren? There were 200 years of Joseph Warrens that lived on Boston Road. There's a big brown house. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Joseph Warren was the last of the Joseph Warrens. He actually fell off of one of these wagons. It might be one of these same 2 wagons. He fell off the wagon, he cracked his skull. He had to have a metal plate installed on his skull. He lived to a good long life, but he had serious headaches all his life. So even though he had inherited the big house down on Boston Road, Arthur Warren, his brother, ended up taking it over to manage it because Joseph couldn't handle it. Okay, this is that house right here. This is the Joseph Warren house. Now you must recognize this, anybody that drives down Route 4. That might be a different paint job, but it's the same house. Here's another of Arthur Emerson's selfies, but this time we've got Arthur Warren and his wife Mabel Warren. Now I show it to you, there's another selfie with the 4 of them on a beach in a different pose, but a different location. Mabel Warren was originally an Emerson, so she was a relative of Arthur Emerson's, and her middle initial, she was Mabel P. Emerson. Well, guess what the P stands for? Yeah, you got it, Parkhurst. So her name was Mabel Parkhurst Emerson Warren. And this photo right here, I'm going to just tell you the big picture first. Company F, unattached cavalry, right after the Civil War in 1864, it was authorized that militias be formed to protect in case some Confederate sympathizers came down from Canada. Now, I'm going to significantly run over on time. Is that going to be a problem for anybody?
Yeah, we do need to finish up
What
by
time?
8:45 at the latest.
8:45 at the latest. Okay. I'm going to start talking faster. All right. This photo right here has a lot of interesting connections. Troop F. Whoops. This is Charles E. Bartlett. This is Arthur Warren, and this is Irvin Sweetser. Remember we talked about Dr. Levi Howard, her son, Dr. Amasa Howard? This is Amasa Howard's wife, and she happened to be a sister of Arthur Warren. And this is Martha Warren. She happens to be another sister of Arthur Warren. This lady right here is Mary Fenderson. Mary Fenderson is in the first page of the People chapter. She was the mother of Mabel Fenderson, who married Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was the grandfather of Brad Emerson. Now, this is a weird story. I'll make it quick. I was just figuring out how to talk about Mary Fenderson and her relationship to the Emerson family, getting down to Ralph Waldo Emerson, and his son was Ted Emerson, and Brad Emerson. The phone rings, and you never guess in a million years who it was. It was Brad Emerson. A million years goes fast. So this is Mabel again. This lady right here is Ida Jeffs. Her daughter, Millie Mae, married a fellow by the name of Winthrop A. Parkhurst. They had a little boy by the name of George A. Parkhurst. He's the guy that wrote the other book that we were talking about. So Bessie Sweetser is the last lady here, and this is Irvin Sweetser. We're going to have a couple of historical society connections here. Bessie Sweetser was Irvin's first wife. She died in 1926. He remarried a lady by the name of Octavia. She was 14 years younger. She lived a good long life until she was until 1964. She passed away. In her will, she left her house. Now, Urban Sweetser and Bessie, and then Urban and Octavia lived at the house at 20 Chelmsford Street. You know where that is? Right across the street from Dr. Sargent's place, which is 21. So this is the building across the street, which Dr. Sargent also now owns and painted the same color. So Octavia, in her will, willed her house, that house at 20 Chelmsford Street, to the Chelmsford Historical Society. Historical Society declined. So the Garrison House, who had already picked up the Garrison House on Garrison Road after the Historical Society declined that house from Warren Leyhew, they picked up the house at 21 Chelmsford Street. Now they sold it after a couple of years, and you'd never guess in a million years who they sold it to. Brad Emerson. Okay, so you're going way back to 1965, and Brad Emerson called me today. How many years is that? 50 years? So that was the kind of Historical Society connection there. And this gentleman over here, Charles Bartlett, was the first president of the Historical Society. This is the Warren family. Couple of sad notes. These are the 5 kids. This is Arthur and this is Mabel in later years. Julia and Carlton went with Arthur and his wife to Pasadena, California, because Arthur, you saw him in the first picture with hay. He developed a serious allergy to hay. His doctor recommended he go to a different climate. So it was around 1925 he took the family and moved to Pasadena. And in 1931, he was hit by a car and died. So the family moved back, and Julia here married a fellow by the name of Donald Fogg. He went to war in World War II. He was killed in North Africa. His war memorabilia is in the museum at the Historical Society. She lived 56 years as a widow, and we in the Historical Society thank her because she's the one that organized, during most of that time, she's the one that organized the accessions, the pictures. Her name is on probably 90% of the records that were so well kept. Amazing typist. So we thank Julia for that. And this gentleman right here, the connection to the Historical Society, Edwin, he's the grandfather of Becky Warren, who is the present president of the Historical Society. This is Arthur Warren's house on Boston Road. If you've ever driven by that, I think it's 86.